Hi Taurus, I hope you're all doing well. Before we get into the reading, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. There's something that you are anticipating, something that you're waiting on. It's related to the star. Let's see. Maybe even something about being yourself. Something that you've been pursuing that feels very authentic. I'm also hearing the word formal. This can also be feeling a sense of exploring things upon your path, doing things that appeal to you. So it's like concerned more with what you feel is right for you to be doing and like fulfilling your destiny, fulfilling your path. It looks like there's something that is falling into place, but it has not happened yet, but it's on the way, is what I'm getting. I think there's even a sense of self-discovery here. Alright, so we're starting off with the Ten of Swords. Let's see further what this is about. I'm hearing something about silver lining. Okay, so I'm seeing a situation here where like something has ended with someone. So there's been something that was like finalized in a way where it's been like, okay, we're really gonna break up this time, or like whatever this was that finished. I'm seeing it be something that like everything was made very clear that this was not going to continue anymore, and then it's like as if that like doesn't count anymore. This person is coming through to like talk about how they're feeling. This can be a moment where it's like you ended things with someone and they were like, okay, like I'm cool with things ending and there's been an agreement and everybody's aware that this is over. However, someone kind of disregarded that in a way, or they're acting like it's not, and they're coming through and wanting to talk about how they're feeling or like message you, talk to you, whatever this is. After the fact. That's a big thing here, after the fact. But I'm seeing like you already are moving away because there's this sense of like not wanting to prolong this further. It's like we ended things for a reason. So I don't want to hear about whatever this is. Whatever this is. This can be even ending things and it's like this person's coming around like telling you how they're feeling now and all of this stuff. However, I'm seeing it's like a bit too late because see how there's a notion of moving on. It's like you're already gone. This person is still trying to come through. But it's like you're over here trying to heal, I'm seeing. Because you know you have to face whatever this is. So I'm seeing you just want to... I'm hearing even understand something. It feels like a point where you recognize that you didn't want to stay in a situation any longer and you were like, okay, if I don't want things to be the same, I have to make a change, and I'm seeing that you made that change. And even though, as I said before, like things may have been agreed upon with this person, it's like maybe they're kind of trying to hook you back or like prolong something. But there's a sense of like wanting to go through the healing process now. So I'm seeing this kind of be irrelevant to you, like what this person is saying. It's like not a main concern of yours because I'm seeing you're concerned with yourself and like what's going on within your heart space. And that's for your protection too, because it's not like you don't care about what this person has to say. It's more so like you don't want to get tripped up because you want to focus on like yourself and what you really need right now. I'm seeing a lot about twos, a lot of partnership stuff here. As if things weren't clear before with an ending and then you moving, it's like there's another notion of somebody moving on here. It's like this is the end of the end. Sorry about that. This is the end of the end, for sure. Yeah, it really feels like somebody's coming around, but it's too little too late. Like, whatever this person has for you, I'm seeing that, like, you wouldn't have ended things if you thought there was still a chance. So I'm seeing you be, like, very okay with the fact that things are what they are, in a way where it's like, you know that you needed to do this. It's not like arbitrarily you ended things. It's like you know the reasons for why you did it. So no matter what this person says, it's not something that's going to be able to pull you back in because you thought this through already. Like, you got to this conclusion. I'm hearing something about constitution. It seems, too, like there was a lack of maybe closeness at times with this person. Like, maybe you feel like you guys... There may have been, like, a lack of similarity sometimes that you felt like got in the way of your intimacy with them. Yeah, this is definitely... I'm seeing especially a strategic move that you are making for yourself to really be protecting your heart now. Not in a way where you're closed off, but more in a way where you're like, you know what, I can't be like living within this connection with you when I need to address things that are going on with me and myself. And I'm seeing there be a lot of reflection that you're doing too. And that's also why you needed to move away. It's like whatever this process is that you're going through regarding the heart chakra, I'm seeing like you needed this space in order to address this. Because if you were still doing whatever you were doing with this person, you wouldn't have been able to address it for some reason. So it's like all of this is happening in the way that it needs to happen for you to do what you need to do for yourself. You could have even for a moment been like really questioning yourself in the moves that you're making, but I think that if you reflect on that, you're going to see that you're doing exactly what you need to do here for you. I'm hearing give it time. I'm hearing it's typical when we go through any sort of big change where like something that we had been doing or been around, whatever it is, comes to an end. It feels extremely uncomfortable because we are breaking a pattern that we feel familiar with. And then it's like, well, what do I fill in that space and time with? And it's natural to miss things and to feel uncomfortable and go through the grieving process and all of that. You can even be in a situation where you're like, you know what, I'm happy that I moved on and I still miss that person. Like, you can feel all of those things. It's all valid. And that doesn't mean that you need to go back into a situation. You can still be feeling good about the decision you make and also still miss somebody. Or whatever else you're feeling. I'm hearing again, give it time. Also, if you were thinking about... for some of you, if you were thinking about, like, reaching out to somebody or, like, telling them how you are feeling, take your time doing that. It seems like you may need more time to process before you go on speaking about something. I want to get this right. It doesn't seem like, okay, say you have a close friend or like people that you rely on, like somebody for support that you're talking to your feelings with. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like if you are thinking about pursuing somebody or reaching back out to somebody or whatever to like tell them about how you're feeling, you may want to wait to do that. Because I'm seeing that, like, you may need some more time still to process everything. Because even though, like, you're feeling what you're feeling right now, there may be, like, more of a development when it comes to how you're feeling. So don't take action based off of that when it comes to, like, bringing somebody else into the conversation. Unless it's somebody that you're, like, venting to or somebody that you get support from. Because there's something about, like, a complete message, like, not being all there yet, and it's going to... It needs more time still. Yeah, I'm seeing this directly be related to you. This is all about, right now it's all about adjusting to your new normal. More than anything. Also focusing on your sense of stability. The things that help you feel stable, whether this be stuff within your physical environment, places you're hanging around, people that you're hanging out with, focusing on your career, on your goals, maybe even reorienting yourself with some of your goals. I was seeing something here about like accomplishments or trophies or something. There's also something about recognizing all of the progress that you've made as well. I'm seeing too, like, at times you may feel like your mood or your thoughts are kind of oscillating a bit, and that may throw you off, but I'm getting like with time and you continuing to like feel your energy and be present and fulfill the needs that you're having, things are going to stabilize for you more than they had been feeling before. It seems very much like everything that you're going through is just normal to the process, even if it doesn't feel like the most comfortable thing. I'm seeing a lot of transitionary periods too. Like, I don't know if this is just you like emotionally moving around or mentally moving around or physically moving around, but it seems like you're going to get to a place, like a destination, but you may not be there yet, but you're getting there. That's the plan. It looks too like focusing on long-term goals is also going to be a benefit to you, because part of you may be interested in making some like short-term decisions. However, if you do, there's something here about like needing to temper like something impulsively, whether this is like something that you're initiating or you allowing into your life. I'm seeing it would be like potentially hard to. It's something that may feel good in a moment, but afterwards you may regret it. So there's something about like needing to have the strength to think about things long term, because a short term decision may affect you and like throw you off a bit. I'm seeing like some sort of challenge that's coming up related to impulsivity. There's also here like a rethinking, a reimagining about what you want and what you want to build for yourself and within your life. I'm seeing it really be a moment where it's like you've been living your life and doing this and that, and like things have been very busy, and I'm seeing you in this moment where like you're really thinking about things again long term, because with the Emperor it's like my empire and my legacy and the things that I want to be remembered for, and like what I want to build and what I want to continue and what I want to go on and what I'm reaching for and all of these things. And how do I get there? So I'm seeing it be a focus on your goals, and maybe you had accomplished things that you wanted, and now it's time to move forward and be like, well, what do I want for this place that I'm in within my life currently? And I'm seeing a lot that you're thinking about. I'm seeing both a lot that you've accomplished and a lot more that you're thinking about too. Like where to go from here. Feels like seasons of your life, like stepping into a new season and figuring out like what your aspirations are for this one. There's something here about feeling more in touch as well with either a community or your spirituality or yourself, spirit, your higher self, because you left a situation that sometimes made it hard to be present or like maybe connect with yourself in the way that you needed to. It looks too like you're getting more goal oriented. Not that you hadn't been before, but I'm seeing something become more important to you. So maybe this is also a priority shift. I'm seeing there be a big focus on like your own solo energy. And as you're doing that, I'm seeing like also healing that you're doing too. Because there's a moment of being like, oh, like maybe I didn't realize how I was impacted by that or how I was feeling or like what was going on. I'm seeing there be just like excavating the heart space and looking in there and seeing what you find and figuring out what you need based off of that. It even feels like a diagnosis or something that you're doing for yourself and what you need. In this spread, I'm looking at Aries, Virgo, Sagittarius, Taurus. For some of you, you're getting more comfortable setting boundaries at work when it comes to like your career and stuff like that. I'm even hearing your personal life. This can be something where, like, you've been thinking more about boundaries, and so there's something that you're communicating more about. Getting more firm. More for yourself than for anything. You could also be talking to someone, too. For some of you, somebody may have even helped you kind of figure some stuff out that you needed to do for yourself. Like, somebody could have given you advice, like maybe about actually implementing boundaries in some sort of way. Maybe even so you're not taken advantage of. Because I'm seeing like this particular type of generosity or kindness with the King of Pentacles here. So this could have been something where you like may have needed to advocate for yourself. Ooh, what is this? Something's going on with the moon. Something may not have happened yet, but it's going to be happening. Or to see like all this Pisces energy here. Feels like something special is going on. Or significant in some type of way. Something about a conversation that's going to be had. Okay. I'm seeing a notion of, like, while you are at work or while you're doing your job, things like where you have more of a public presence, there's something here about needing to protect yourself. It's almost like an armor that you wear. I'm seeing the Queen of Swords kind of be something about protecting yourself. Even psychologically from things. So this feels like maybe boundaries that you're setting to protect yourself emotionally. This can mean too, like really sizing things up and being like, okay, my intuition, I can feel something like kicking on right now. And I feel a little bit weary about this, or like I don't think that I want to go in that direction. It's like really being in touch with yourself, even when it comes to things that aren't like glaringly dangerous. It's like if you get a weird feeling about something, it's about like being mindful of that and maybe backing away rather than engaging. This may also be something that's going to be coming up for you too, and something that has not happened yet. Like, you actually may need to set some sort of boundary for yourself so as not to be taken advantage of. Because I'm getting too, I'm getting something about security or like a guard here. It's almost like a protection of what's to come. I'm getting with your energy something about like some sort of value, like either, well, everybody's valuable, but I'm seeing like something about you being valuable. I don't know what exactly that means, but maybe it reminds me even of something that's like behind glass that people would say is valuable and like people would want, like something of a high value that you have. And so like you need to have protection for that thing because it's something that like other people would want. And I'm seeing you also be in this generous energy, so it's like maybe something that you would give away, but you don't want to be taken advantage of here. So there's something about needing to have boundaries. Because I'm seeing like a lot of things that you've worked on for yourself. And so there's something about like needing to protect that. Maybe you're also reading more into people's intentions, like what they want with you and why they're around. More protective of your energy too, it looks like. And we're seeing the sun and the moon together. So this is like your masculine and your feminine energy, subconscious and consciousness, internal expression, external expression, like what's going on behind the scenes, what's going on stage, how you're feeling about that. There's even more of a sense of composure for you, too. It looks like there may be like a little bit, I'm hearing swap, a little bit of a change that you've made with how you're interacting with people. And I'm seeing that it's something that like allows you to feel more balanced emotionally. I'm also hearing more equipped. Yeah, I'm even seeing it be like maybe before when people were calling you, you would like pick up your phone and if they wanted you to come outside or like hang out or whatever, it's like you didn't even think about it. You just like went off and did that, and it's like now you're like really thinking about like, do I want to do that, or like who is this person asking me? Like all of these things that you're doing here. Like more of an analysis when it comes to like the people that you're letting in. And I'm again seeing this be a protection for you. Yeah, this is big. So whatever that was going on before where like something needed to be tweaked or changed with like how you were interacting with certain people so you could feel better about things. I'm seeing like you weren't feeling in a great place before, but I'm also seeing that changing. This does really feel related to like maybe people that you had been involved with. It's like maybe you had been around other people and still be feeling alone or feeling like people were around for the wrong reasons. Maybe even feeling stuck in a situation and you're like, you know what, if I don't want things to be the same, I have to make a change. So I'm seeing you make that change here. And I think that's the second time that we've repeated that. So I'm seeing it be significant for you. Before, maybe you also felt weary about setting boundaries with people. It's like you wanted to be seen. I'm hearing nice guy, kind guy, and you can still be all of those things. And also have boundaries. So some way that you were feeling, you're not going to be feeling anymore. It looks like. This is for sure making a change for the better for yourself because you don't want to stay stuck in a place where you're feeling poorly. And I'm seeing like this change not be the easiest thing to do, but I'm seeing that it's going to be worth it to you. And that you definitely have the endurance and are strong enough to pull this through. But as with any change, it's going to feel uncomfortable. It even seems like something with the mind frame that you had been in before. Where like maybe you were in a situation and you're like, this just is how it is, and you hated it, and it looks like there's something that you're changing here. Like really believing that you can change, really believing that things can change, and that you don't have to stay stuck. And maybe before you weren't feeling that way. There may be somebody that you're setting boundaries with to protect the space that you're growing into. I'm seeing there either be like eyes on you or people or a person. Whatever energy this is, I'm seeing like an energy facing you as you're going through like some big changes right now that are taking like a lot of grit and energy on your end. And you may have people like asking you a lot of questions or like trying to be involved in what you're doing. It's one of those moments where it's like you may want to like go in the corner and do what you need to do, like kind of away from the eyes of other people. It's almost like maybe you don't want to be up on stage while you're doing something. It's like not a show for everybody else, it's something that you're doing for you. So even though people are curious about it, this can even be like people wanting personal information about you that you're like, you know what, I'm going through something right now, and like maybe you don't want to talk about it. It even seems like something personal that you're going through that you may not want to share, even though I'm seeing like either someone or people asking you about this. Because the Page of Swords energy can be somebody that kind of is like sucking up energy, and it's one that like if this is a person or people that you're interacting with, it's good to have boundaries, because they'll kind of like ask you anything that they want, because they're trying to like find things out and all of that. They're very curious. So you having boundaries and being like, I'm comfortable sharing this, I'm not comfortable sharing that, whatever this is for you, that's going to help. And sometimes we're also in a situation where there's only so much that we can do. There's like only so much privacy that we can have. So before things, how they were going, how things were swimming along, I'm seeing that there was like some sort of issue with how, yeah, something that was unfolding. It feels very much like a space that you had been in, a familiar space that you had been in, but like things weren't going in a way that you were particularly enjoying. And so like there's a choice that needs to be made, but whether this be like an environment or like an event that was occurring or even a state of mind. For some of you, this was something going on financially. I'm hearing out of work for some. I'm seeing you get to a place where it's like things are either going to stay like this, or I'm hearing something about the dead of winter, or I'm gonna have to make a change here. But you could have felt for some reason like you were incapable of making a choice, and that's why it was being delayed. This is like a lot of feeling very uncomfortable here, but then I'm seeing you get to a point where a choice does have to be made. And I'm seeing that be executed. I'm looking at the Death card sandwiched in between the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords here. So this is like taking more action, getting more analytical, can be even be switching up the communication, checking out your surroundings, observing more. Even uncovering things with the moon. You may have also stepped into more of an initiating type of energy. where before, like, maybe that wasn't needed, and then there was a necessity for that. I'm even seeing you look into some sort of unknown or some future related thing. To have the Pisces energy next to the Scorpio, it looks like there was something going on deeply psychological that you needed to address. So this means getting to a place where you were ready to uncover something that was going on psychologically for you. Could have even been something subconscious. But you have to get into that state where you're like, okay, I'm ready to actually see this. I'm ready to address this. I'm ready to approach this. So I'm seeing you be like allowed behind the curtain, but you had to make the choice to like want to go back there and see what was going on. I'm even getting something about rewiring. It seems like this is even something about meeting your needs, too. We have a full house. There are like so many different people that are showing up here. We have so many court cards. I'm hearing busy life. You may have a lot of different people that you've been interacting with. So it looks like there was a conversation, deciding to have some sort of conversation that may not have been being had. This can even be about like needs that you feel you have and how you're going to take action to meet them, but maybe it was something that wasn't being addressed before. This can be a movement where maybe you felt like you could continue doing something and you may have been like neglecting yourself a bit in like some area of your life, and there could be a change that you're going through where you're like, you know what, it's important that I do this for myself, and like it's okay that I do that. So it's like really taking care of you in the ways that you need. So it's like making these little changes that are really adding up for you. And I'm seeing stuff that's like really helping you on the emotional front because of these choices that you're making, like even behavioral choices that are like helping you understand things more fully, even about your emotional process. It could have been something where like maybe you did have certain needs, and because there wasn't as much of a priority on them, or because you weren't like tapping into that as much, you weren't doing it and not realizing that it was like impacting you like mentally, energetically. And then I'm seeing like something that you start address that then like changes things. It's kind of like an unraveling, and I'm seeing you start like understanding something, or like something clicks that wasn't clicking before, and you see connections that you had not been seeing before. So it even feels like something being activated that wasn't activated before. And I'm getting like a deeper sense of self-awareness because of this. I'm looking at Pisces, the Sun, Scorpio, Leo, and Mercury. Okay, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.